Very close to the Moses petroglyph and the calendar petroglyph is this single word petroglyph. This is the Tsar petroglyph. The word Tsar was described to me as to tighten, like you take a belt and you keep wrapping it around itself, and you wrap it and you squeeze it in tighter and tighter, and it gets tighter and tighter and becomes tight. This is the meaning of Tsar. It means to narrow, to hem in, to squeeze, to trap, to restrict, and of course, to tighten. So on this rock canvas is only one word, Tsar. Now, why would someone write something like that on a rock? As we've been searching for Mara, the bitter waters, it has become more and more clear to us that no matter what direction they went from the Red Sea to Mara, then to Elam, and then eventually to the wilderness of Sinai, that the mountain passes, the very geography in this area would have made it almost impossible for the Hebrews to have traveled very quickly. They would have been hemmed in. They would have been Tsar. As we've looked at all these mountain passes, every one of them has been Tsar. For some of them, it is so restrictive that only one person could go through the pass at a time. Another pass, you might get 25 people going through at a time, or 50 people going through at a time, but still Tsar. The language of Exodus 16, when we finally get to the wilderness of sin, the Bible talks about all the people being together. It talks about the whole community, almost like from maybe the crossing of the Red Sea all the way to the wilderness of sin, they're not all together. So maybe from the Red Sea to the wilderness, the Hebrews were spread out. They were restricted, and for many, sitting around, waiting for the road to clear ahead of them. Another scripture that gives light to this is Deuteronomy 25. It paints a picture of the Hebrews being spread out and having a tail, and people being killed by Amalekite and that were lagging behind. Then in the book of Isaiah, it talks about the Hebrews of old and of the Exodus, and it says, in there, the Hebrews, affliction, and the word affliction here means tightening. The word here means Tsar. It's actually a female form of it. So the Hebrews, being female, tightened. So in their tightening, in the Hebrews' tightening, Jehovah, was Tsar. He was afflicted. He was Tsar. He was tightened. So in their tightening, Jehovah was tightened. And the angels of his presence saved them. And in his love and in his pity, he, Jehovah, redeemed them. He, Jehovah, lifted them up and carried them all the days of old. I love that. The Hebrews were going through their tightening, and Jehovah lifts them up and carries them all the days of old. Now, someone might have a different interpretation of this one word here on this stone. That's fine. I'm willing to be corrected on this. But if this is right, this is another petroglyph right on the road along Mara and is a witness to the very Exodus story.